Sure, human history has seen extinction after extinction, but the first big modern oops moment actually happened this year. Yeah, you heard me right. And honestly, that was just a tiny, barely noticeable beginning. What's coming next, though, the animals scientists are planning to bring back, some of them are straight up jaw-dropping. This video is part 1 of my de-extinction series, so if you stick around for this one too, I promise it'll be worth it. Let's kick it off. Number 6. The Falkland Islands wolf, aka the wara. Calling this creature the loneliest mammal in the world wouldn't even be stretching it. This was a wolf that lived nowhere else but the Falkland Islands, way out in the South Atlantic, far from mainland South America. The story gets weirder. When Charles Darwin spotted them in 1833, even he was scratching his head. How on earth did wolves make it all the way to this isolated patch of land? Well, the answer lies in ice ages and a little thing called chance. Thousands of years ago, during one of the massive ice sheets, South America and the Falklands were connected. The waras, chasing their favorite prey, penguins, wandered over and got stranded when the ice melted. Isolation did its thing, and by thing, I mean these wolves never evolved fear of humans or other predators. Sound familiar? Yep, just like the dodo. Fast forward to human arrival, and surprise, surprise, the waras didn't last long. Europeans wiped them out completely. But here's the silver lining. We still have fragments of their DNA. Scientists are looking at ways to use CRISPR to edit the genes of their closest living relatives, these South American maned wolves, to create a wara-like animal. Then one day, we might see the Falklands filled with wolves again. Wild, right? Number 5. Bison latifrons. Imagine a bison the size of a large SUV with horns so huge you could park a car between them. These weren't your average bison. They were the giant royalty of the bovid family, along with water buffalo and aurochs. Native to North America, they roamed the plains until about 13,000 years ago, when humans and the end of the Ice Age teamed up to wipe them out. Here's the catch. No perfectly preserved bison latifrons exist, so extracting DNA directly, not happening. But science is clever. The American bison we have today are distant relatives, smaller and weaker, but close enough. Through selective breeding, scientists could potentially amplify the traits we need, bigger horns, bulkier size, and recreate something that looks very much like bison latifrons. Think of it as the prehistoric version of dog breeding. We did it with wolves to get dogs, we did it with jungle fowl to get chickens, and we did it with wild boar to get pigs. Why not bison? Number 4. The blue antelope. Now here's a beautiful story and a sad one. Despite the name, the blue antelope isn't a deer. It's a type of antelope closely related to other bovids. They were once widespread across South Africa, easily recognizable for their bluish-gray coat. By the 1600s, European settlers arrived, and their numbers were already dropping due to climate changes. Then hunting finished the job. By 1800, they were gone. Luckily, a few preserved specimens survive in European museums, and their closest living relative, the sable antelope, still roams the wild. Using gene editing, scientists could tweak sable antelope DNA to recreate the blue antelope's unique coloring and horn shape. The process is way faster than starting from scratch, and we could have a living, breathing blue antelope back on Earth. Number 3. The great auk. First things first, the great auk is not a penguin. Seriously, don't let that fool you. Evolutionarily, it's as different from penguins as blue whales are from seals. These flightless birds ruled the northern hemisphere, while penguins had the southern hemisphere. They had huge populations for a long time, but things went downhill in the 1500s when Europeans started hunting them for meat, eggs, and feathers. By 1844, only a single pair remained on a tiny island, and yes, they were hunted too. Luckily, museums preserved specimens and eggs. Companies like Revive and Restore are now using CRISPR technology to edit DNA from the eggs of their closest relatives, the razorbills, to bring the great auk back. Birds are tricky though. Expect this to take decades because cloning birds is way more complicated than cloning mammals. Number 2. Homotherium. The ultimate saber-tooth predator. You probably thought of Smilodon, but Homotherium was even more successful and widespread. They lived on every continent except Antarctica and Australia. During the Ice Ages, in Europe, they mainly hunted horses and mammoths. Their canines were smaller than Smilodon, but their limbs were longer, which made them faster and more agile. Basically, they were the Usain Bolts of saber-tooths. The end came with the last Ice Age. Climate change and shrinking prey wiped them out. Mostly we had fossils until 2020, when hunters in Yakutia, Siberia, discovered a frozen Homotherium baby. This little creature was only 3 weeks old at death and had been perfectly preserved for 35,000 years. Scientists now hope to sequence its genome and possibly use modern cats to create a saber-tooth cat. Of course, it would be mostly for display or research because a recreated saber-tooth cat wouldn't have the size or hunting skills to survive in the wild. But still, imagine seeing one in real life. Crazy, right? Number 1. The Przewalski's horse, also called the Lena horse. During the Ice Ages, this horse dominated Siberia's frigid landscapes. It had super thick fur, perfect for surviving temperatures that would freeze a modern horse solid. But about 5,000 years ago, climate change and human competition drove them to extinction, the same time the Indus Valley civilization was starting up. Thanks to frozen specimens, including a foal discovered in Yakutia in 2018, scientists now have liquid blood samples from a 43,000-year-old Lena horse. This means modern horses can serve as surrogates, and through cloning, we could bring the Lena horse back, completely identical to the original. Not a sort of Lena horse, but the real deal. And that, my friends, is the countdown. Extinction is sad, yes, but the fact that we might bring back some of these creatures, that's the kind of science fiction turned reality that blows your mind. Wolves on the Falklands, SUV-sized bison roaming North America, blue antelopes in South Africa, flightless great auks gliding through the north, saber-tooths stalking museum grounds, and Lena horses trotting through Siberia again. It's nuts. Alright, that was part 1 of this series, and if you've been watching me before, you already know the drill. I'm giving $1 to my sick sister for every like and subscribe on this video, so hit those buttons and let's make it happen. Seriously, things are only getting crazier from here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.